Alright guys, my name is Hellbent and welcome to Graffiti Smash. So Graffiti Smash is a slingshot based gacha game that got made by Bandai Namco and got published in the global server by Boltran. Now, you guys know that I don't really like Boltran as a publisher because Boltran, well, they are not the best at managing games and their history of like managing gacha game is not the best. Just look at like this Gaia RPG, it's not the best. I have to tell you guys, but yeah, this game is actually pretty unique. It's pretty interesting, but I don't have too much fun playing this game actually because I don't really like the gameplay, and this game actually doesn't have any auto system. And if you guys want to play a gacha game just to idle around and enjoy the story and things like that, this is not like the game for you because, well, the story in my opinion is not the best. The cutscene is non-existent, and yeah, I have to say to you guys, I don't really like this kind of game, but if you like the gameplay, then definitely give this game a try. Now let's get into the review of Graffiti Smash. Alright, now let's talk about the combat. So the combat itself is pretty interesting, and it's also kind of complicated because there is a bunch of terrain and traps that you guys need to avoid, and there is actually kind of like an items that you can use also. But the main point of the combat is that you use your character as kind of like a slingshot in a pinball game, and if you hit your friend, you will activate a skill. And if you guys notice, when I move my character around, they're also leaving a orange trail at their back of their movement. This orange trail is called paint, and the more paint that you have in the battlefield, the more damage that you deal. And also, if you guys see, like in the screen, there is a graffiti. A graffiti is like this kind of like summon that you can use unless you actually like reveal all of their graffiti or all of the like art in the battlefield. If you have reveal all of them, all of it, then the graffiti can be used, and you can actually switch between graffiti. So graffiti is kind of like the summon system in this game, and it's actually kind of unique. So yeah, that is pretty much the combat. It's pretty simple, yet it's complicated, so you have to play the game yourself in order to understand the combat fully. Alright, so now we are on the main screen, and let's talk about all of the content and the upgrading system in this game and how it works. So let's actually go through the dungeon first. So there is an event tab right here. So the event tab is pretty simple. It's just an event, and right now they are doing the Christmas event, and they are actually giving a lot of free weapons and a lot of free units, and that is great as a like first start event because this event, it helps you go through the early game. There's also a PvP if you're into that. I am not going to talk about the PvP, but yeah, because I'm not the biggest fan of PvP, but it's pretty much the same thing where you like combat against PvE. But the thing is that the more paint that you have, the more point that you also get. So the like win condition is kind of different. You don't need to kill all of your opponents, but if you have more paint and the time runs out, you will win. So let's go to the party tab right here. So the party tab, there is the graffiti that you can change. So I have 3 graffiti right now, so you can change between wind type, fire type, and water type. And then let's move on to the upgrading system. So the upgrading system, it's pretty simple. So you can awaken your characters when they hit 99. So for example, I had hit level 99 with my character right here, so both of my characters, and then you can awaken them using a material. So the material is pretty easy to get. So for example right here, like on the starting, like the start of the game, they will give you 1 for free, but with the rest of like your characters, you will need to get the materials for free. For not for free, but by grinding them, of course. So force is pretty much the dupe system in this game. So once you like pull a dupe, you will get a force point, so you can actually use them in here. So for example, orbs, and this one is specific, and you can actually like choose between like 3 of this, which one that you want to actually use. This one is universal, this one is specific to your characters, and this one is kind of like a fragment that you can get. For the potential, so what it means by potential is that you can farm orbs in here. So let's go to the map. So in here you can actually like farm a bunch of orbs, gold, and also exp. And the way you get maps is by doing expedition. So for example right here, so these are basically your, well, it's a simple expedition system, same thing like any other gacha. But for example, I got an orb here. So this is the orb that got used for potential, for unlocking potential, right? So I unlock a slot, but basically that is pretty much how you get like maps. Maps can also be gotten from like event. So in the event tab, in the drop rate, for example right here, they will also sometimes drop maps, right? And then as you can see, this is the awakening. This is the material that you can get from like for awakening. And yeah, that is pretty much it for maps. And maps is going to be like your dungeons. So this is going to be the place where you farm a bunch of things, and you need to find the maps first in order to farm the thing that you need. Alright, now let's move on to the upgrade weapons. So the weapons, the upgrading, like the weapons upgrading system is pretty complicated. Like I don't really get it, but the main point is that if you have a dupe of a weapon, so for example I have a dupe of this weapon, right? I merge them and then the weapon now becomes a level 2 weapon, right? That is pretty much how it works. Materia, this is pretty much an add-on to your weapon. So for example, I can use like speed boost here, and then you have to craft the materia in order to use the materia, right? Simple. Now for crafting weapons, so the crafting system in this game is pretty unique. I never seen like this kind of crafting system, but basically, so for example, material points required, right? So if I use this one, it will give us 10 points, and in order to craft one of this, you need 250 points. So you pretty much need to sacrifice a bunch of weapon in order to craft a weapon. So I had crafted this weapon before, and that is pretty much it for the crafting system. It's pretty unique, and all of the weapons that you got in this game is actually for free, so you don't need to gacha for weapons and things like that. So it is free, like a pretty free to play system. I really like it. Alright, so now let's talk about the gacha. So the gacha, it has a paid only option. So the paid only will guarantee you the highest rarity of Hunter, and Hunter in this game has a 7% drop rate. So that is pretty high for a gacha game. But still, I don't really like a paid pull option, especially if the paid pull actually just give you a straight up 4-star hunter or like the highest rarity of characters. Like in World Flipper, at least they don't make it so that you are guaranteed a 4-star or like the highest rarity of characters, right? So yeah, the gacha system is pretty flawed in my opinion. But that is pretty much it for everything that exists in this game. All in all, I think this game is pretty free to play friendly, especially if we take a look at hunting board right here, right? So if you take a look at hunting board, you can actually get a bunch of characters for free. So look at this. Use certain hunters for bonuses, but yeah, boom, get the hunter upon first clear. So on the first clear, you will get a free characters, and you can upgrade the character in order to be a 5-star, just like any other character. So in my opinion, that is great. So there is a welfare characters, and there is a bunch of them that you can get. So that is really good. And the end game system, kind of like the end game content of this game, is the underground right here. So underground is kind of like the abyss level in this game. So there is 16th floor, and if you clear like each of them, I'm pretty sure it's only like a one-time clear thing, but if you clear all of them, you will get a pretty good amount of reward. And yeah, that is pretty much it for this game. There's nothing much to talk about, and I have to say the story is not the best in this game. I don't really like the story and how this game like UI and characters are kind of look. Even though first I thought that this game is going to be like cool and unique, but after I played the game, this game is pretty boring. I don't know why, but yeah, I think it's just like a personal preference thing. But yeah, if you do like this kind of game and interested in this kind of game, definitely give this game a try. And yeah, that is pretty much it for this game. My name is Hellbent, and as always guys, goodbye, have a nice day, and keep playing gacha games.